The title of his speech is Mistakes Are Not Mistakes. Mistakes are not mistakes. Youth Leader Ashwin.
Am I audible? Yes. If a barber makes a mistake, it's a new hairstyle. If a tailor makes a mistake, it's a new fashion. If a teacher makes a mistake, it's a new idea. So dear parents, if your son or daughter makes a mistake, it's not a mistake. It's a gateway to discover the galaxy of new things. Like the great scientist Thomas Alva Edison. Youth Leader of the Day, fellow youth leaders, meticulous Toastmasters, and dear parents, a very warm good afternoon to one and all. How many of you like rain? How many of you like Bahrain? As everyone jubilantly wet in rain, the hardworking people wet in Bahrain every weekend. Believe me, I do not know the reason why. My father and mother decided to go to Bahrain last weekend. But it was so hard to coordinate their timings since they both were engaged on their own professions. So it was decided my father would go a day early and then my mother would follow on. When my father reached Bahrain, he thought he would mail to my mother. But accidentally mistyped her email address and sent it off somewhere else. A widow on the other part of the world had just returned from her husband's funeral. She had expected messages from relatives as well as friends, but instead found a mail like this. To my loving wife, from your departed husband. Subject, I have just arrived. I have just arrived and have checked in. I see that everything has been prepared for your arrival tomorrow. Looking forward to see you then. Hope your journey is not as uneventful as mine was. After this incident, my father had a great problem in convincing my mom. But after this, my father had always checked his email before sending twice or thrice, as he had learned a lesson. Everybody does indeed makes mistake. It's a natural law. Learning from mistakes requires three things. First, having the courage to put yourself in situations where you can make interesting mistakes. Second, having the self-confidence to admit to your own mistakes. Last but not the least, to make changes in yourself. Even the Almighty God also committed a mistake. And do you know how? I'll tell you how. Let's take the example of myself. He has made me intelligent, energetic, caring, loving, but left a huge flaw in me. Do you know how? It's the very reason why I wear spectacles. Dear youth leaders, mistakes can happen to anyone. We all are binded by this supernatural force. We all know that we all used pencils when we were young, but now we use a pen instead. And do you know why? Why? It's because mistakes in childhood can be erased off with an eraser at the end of the pencil. But now we do not use. We used a pen so that we do not make mistakes. Dear youth leaders, mistakes are not mistakes. Mistakes increases the experience. The experience decreases the mistakes. What is it so important when it happens? Let us all have the courage to admit to our own mistakes. Like the exciting roller coaster journey, let us also enjoy our own mistakes. Let us all learn from our mistakes with care and dare and approach the same task with the lessons learned. Dear youth leaders, I am not perfect, but just original. So when mistakes happen randomly, let us have the courage to admit it and not engage in a blame game. Instead, let us explore and expand the power of knowledge. Do you all agree with me? Yes. Yeah, I like a positive attitude. Over to you.